Hi and welcome back. Today's topic is 5 valuable life skills often learned by those with complex PTSD. Strengths can be found in childhood survival strategies. Here are the key points. Complex PTSD is much more prevalent among adults than some might surmise. Adults who managed this attachment trauma as children learned many adaptive survival skills that they may utilize in adulthood. A sense of responsibility, competence, and a valuing of connection are among strengths adults with a CPTSD history can carry. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD, is much more prevalent than anyone might surmise. Because adults who managed this attachment trauma as children learned many adaptive survival skills that they utilize in adulthood, they are often very well-functioning members of society. No one might guess what challenges lie beneath the surface. With the pervasive trauma of CPTSD, a child is required to subvert her own natural and healthy needs, preferences, inclinations, and emotional life to the parent's egocentric demands. A child intuitively knows when a parent has no room for them emotionally and will suppress her natural instincts and impulses in order to buoy that parent, out of love and out of a desire to glean any kind of support for herself from the parent. A child managing this complex attachment trauma is, quite literally, put in the dilemma of having to choose between his psychic and physical well-being and his critical connection with the adult in his life. To a child, it feels like survival. The seriousness of this dilemma cannot be underestimated. In many ways, it is survival: physical, emotional, intellectual, and psychic. In the aftermath of this childhood, most adults are left with the many burdens of senseless attachment wounds. Wounds that could have been quite unnecessary if the child had been given the love, respect, and awareness that her needs, natural dependence, and reliance on the adults in her life demanded tender attention. There can be little to nothing to feel good about surviving a history of complex trauma. At the same time, what I have observed, time and again, in my clients with a complex trauma history are coinciding strengths. Along with the challenges, adults with a history of complex trauma can also embody these adaptive life skills. Number 1. Responsibility. As children, survivors learn early on to be responsible for themselves and for others. Often these responsibilities were well beyond their true age-appropriate ability to perform, because at times it was literally an issue of survival. These kids learn persistence in taking responsibility, problem-solving, and stepping up. As adults, their challenge is to require and allow others to take appropriate responsibility for tasks, behaviors, and relationships, and to not automatically step in as a caretaker. As adults, the value in this same behavior can look like being a responsible parent, spouse, employee, or friend. In life, they can be reliable, consistent, and persistent. They can demonstrate many qualities of leadership. Number 2. Competence. As children, survivors learn to never need anything by way of support because they found quickly their needs would go unanswered. As adults, the challenge for them at times is to tackle a sense of learned helplessness. Another challenge is to take pride in their efforts and abilities. As adults, the value in this is they can exhibit the strengths of meeting and solving life challenges through competence, problem-solving abilities, creativity, and a find-a-way attitude. They can know exactly what to do in any given situation, or they move to figure it out. Number 3. Functioning well through a lot of distress. Clients use words like soldier on, bear down, and push through to describe how they learned to manage distress. For these adults, it can be difficult to know how to regulate distress, or that they even have a choice in the matter. They can overestimate their ability to tolerate distressing events and then become blindsided with overwhelming feelings they don't see coming. The value in this is when they learn to notice when they're distressed, they can regulate it better. And if you're in a critical and stressful situation, these are the people you want on your team. What began for them as children as anticipatory fear of what's coming can result as adults in an ability to plan ahead and to create order out of chaos. Number 4. An uncanny ability to read the room. As children, survivors learn to read other people, to read their tone, their movement, their words, and their emotions. This was helpful to safely avoid danger, to know what a situation called for, and to generally rise to what any circumstance required. As adults, their challenge can be to not feel swamped by other people's emotions or dilemmas, and to not let other people's needs take over in every situation. As adults, the value in this is they can intuit what others may need. Through this, they can be empathic, caring, and kind. They may seek to understand another's perspective. They can allow for differences and look to find fair solutions for all. Number 5. A desire and ability to connect with others. While perhaps overly responsible as children, a challenge can be to learn balanced and mutual connectivity. These children are so used to being of service, they aren't always sure how to just be in relationships. Learning they deserve mutual support is a challenge. At the same time, because seeking connection with loved and important others was critical as adults, they may continue to place high value on connection and belonging. They seek to be inclusive and to create space for others to join in, come along, and enjoy creative, even playful, connection. Through work with a competent therapist, the burdens our younger parts carry can be released, and the strengths found there can be used to enrich adult life today. The work of Richard Schwartz, Pete Walker, and Jana Fisher, among others, may guide you in learning more. That's it for this video, and thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to never miss future uploads. Thank you again, and have an awesome day.